look, it's the afternoon, and I don't normally do videos in the afternoon, but you know what? I wanted to cut this video today. I've been thinking about it for about a week or so. I said, you know, I'm gonna do this video to help real estate professionals and agents. And I've learned so much about your industry from watching and then from working with you guys and talking to many of you. And so I wanted to create this video so that I can give you 5 principles. I'm going to give you 5 principles of how to trump the tax system. How to trump the tax system. And so look, all right, so if this is your first time watching, I'm Jay, I'm your healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. So today we're accounting for taxes. So which basically is your money, which means that if you overpay in taxes, what's going to happen? You're going to spend too much money. You're not going to have any money for flipping homes, investing, getting more. And guys, if you overpay in taxes, you just don't know. It could cost you $100,000 of money that you weren't able to earn because you overpaid. So I'm gonna give you 5 principles today. But before I give you the 5 principles, I want to talk about just some of the information that I know about real estate agents and realtors and what's happening in your industry. I've talked to many agents, right? And so recently I had a conversation with an agent, and she basically was like, she didn't want to keep playing catch up. She wants to be able to pay her taxes, not overpay, still have money, be able to do what she wants to do. And a lot of times this is something that a lot of realtors are not doing. They're playing catch up for years. Maybe they wait 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to file their taxes. Maybe they don't have proper structure. All of that stuff is advanced, but you got to first get the principles right first. And if you get these principles right first, then we could go into the advanced tactics, making sure that you can do different things. But if you don't get these principles, then it's probably not going to work. So here's the first principle. The first principle is this. You got to know that it's your money. Look, it's your money, not the government's. And if you can understand this concept of it being your money, that means when you earn $1, that's yours. 100% is yours. Now, here's the thing. You've got to do something. Now, if you don't do much, then the government's going to say, hey, give me $4. They may say, give me $5 between state and federal. They may ask you for $5. So think about this. If you go year after year, you're not really planning, you're not really taking care of what you got to do, and you got to keep giving up $5. Come on now. $5, and just now when you multiply, oh, it's just $5. Oh, let's go to $50. Oh, now you go to $500. Then you go to $10,000. And now you're talking about $5,000. That's just so $5,000. If you had net earnings of 10,000 and you had to give up 5, come on, what? That's a lot of money. So you got to know it's not the government's money. You don't have to give them 5. So you have to keep telling yourself every day, when I earn money, this is my money. That's the first principle. It's yours. Second principle is this. The tax law was created for you to reduce your tax, not to increase it. So when you hear things and the government's doing this and the government's doing that, don't worry about what the government's doing. Say, but either way, they want to reduce my taxes. That's number 2. So if the government wants to reduce your taxes, then when you use step number 1 correctly and you say, hey, look, it's my money, it's not the government's. Oh, wow. Now, what can I do? I'm going to reduce my taxes. The government is not the government's money, but I want to reduce my government wants to reduce my taxes. So when you get the paycheck, when you get your commission checks, right? You go to settlements, right? You're a realtor. If you're not a realtor and you're catching this and you're a business owner, entrepreneur, when you get a client, you get paid. It's my money. That's the first thing. So I got to know I'm not trying to overpay the government. Second thing, the tax law was written for me to reduce my taxes. So let me just make sure that I'm doing everything that I can do to reduce my taxes. That's principle number 2. Number 3, the fastest way to put more money back into your pocket is to reduce your taxes. That's the fastest way. So look, if last year it cost you $20,000, last year it cost you $20,000 in taxes, you're like, man. So the fastest way is, well, how can I get that 20,000 back into my pocket? So you've got to ask these questions of yourself. You have to be thinking that you can't be saying, well, my accountant didn't tell me. Well, look, at the end of the day, if you're calling your accountant, you're saying, hey, look, I want that 20,000 back in my pocket next year, because if you paid the 20, then next year I want it. So can you show me how to get that 20,000, or at least most of it or some of it, into my pocket for next year? You have to be thinking this way. If you in tax season and then you do your taxes, you pay your 20, and then you just keep moving, you don't ask any questions, you're not like, I'm going to put that money in my pocket. Maybe I can pay less next year. Well, you're only going to pay less next year if you decide that you're going to take the 20 and put it in your pocket. So that's the first thing. So the first thing is not the government's money, it's yours. The second principle is the tax law was written to reduce your taxes. Third principle, we're just finishing up, is the fastest way is to take the money that you've already put into taxes and put that into your pocket. So you want to reduce your taxes. Number 3. Number 4, we're almost finished. Everything you do either increases or decreases your taxes. So look, think of it like this. You just traveled around the world. Maybe you traveled down to, you're from DC, you traveled to Florida, right? And, you went with your family. You took a vacation, but it's not business. You just increased your taxes. You just increased your taxes. But maybe you went to Florida, you took your family, but you said, you know what? How can I reduce my taxes while I'm in Florida? See, that's the key. How can I do it? Maybe you don't understand how to do it. Then that's when you say, well, if I don't understand how to do it, then what should I do? Let me call somebody. Hey, tax guy, how can I reduce my taxes while I'm in Florida? Got to ask the question. If they say they don't know, then okay, you have to call somebody else. Because if they say don't know, then wait a second, Trump did it, because I want to trump the tax system. I want to pay no taxes or pay as little as possible. I want to reduce that tax bracket to the smallest number I can get. So that's the thing. Ask the question. So number 4 is everything you do increases or decreases. Which one are you going to do? You're going to increase your tax or decrease it? Number 5, as we wrap this up, look, the tax law is a series of incentives for entrepreneurs and investors. So people that think business all the time, the tax law was written for you, because inside of the tax law are incentives. It's saying, well, go into real estate. You're a realtor, right? And if you're a realtor, here's the thing. The law was written for real estate. It wasn't written for you to be a realtor per se. The way that the law was written, it was written so that the person that gathers the most assets, rents out the most, or puts homes in certain areas, rents to certain people. There are incentives inside the tax law for that person. Now, every business owner is going to get deductions, so that's standard. But then there's special incentives that when you invested $1 million, you can write off $1 million in assets this year. Did you know that you can write off $1 million in assets? If you purchased $1 million this year, you could write all of it off, which means that that's zeroing out a lot of tax, or all of your tax. Maybe you got a refund. Maybe you're going to get a refund because of different credits that you get. So you got to know. But if you don't ask the questions, if you don't do number 1, if you don't say, well, it's my money, not the government, that's number 1. If you don't realize that the tax law is written to reduce your taxes, number 2. And if you don't realize that the fastest way to put money in your pocket is to reduce your taxes, number 3. Number 4 was everything you do increases or decreases. And then number 5 is knowing what the incentives are for entrepreneurs and investors. The code was written for you. So look, if you want to trump the tax system, you want to take these 5 principles and you want to implement them in your life, not just your business. You want to implement, because it's got to be in your life, because some parts of your life that are personal might just be business now. Everything, you can turn everything into business. Everything that has a business intent is a business write-off. Intent is what it has to be. So look, use these 5 principles. use these 5 principles, implement these 5 principles into your business, especially realtors. If you're a real estate agent, you need to implement these, because real estate agents are some of the worst when it comes to filing their taxes, staying in compliance, reducing their taxes. It's pretty bad in your industry. So look, if that's you, I want you to implement these, but then tell somebody else. Share this with someone else. Say, hey, look, I found these principles that you got to implement. And you may not know everything right now, which is okay. But if you have these principles, you'll start asking questions. You'll find the right person, the right advisor to help you. And then you will move to that next level in your business. So guys, I appreciate you for joining me. If you have any specific questions, definitely hit me up, no problem. But go use these principles. And check me out again. I'll be back here on Facebook very soon. God bless you. Take care.